Mastering the 2026 Thailand TDAC, the ultimate quick guide for travelers. We'll show you how to breeze through the registration in as little as 3 minutes. No need for tedious address entries or return flight details. Perfect for a hassle-free trip. Stick around until the end to see the fastest way to get it done.
This is the ultimate shortcut for travelers. Here's the secret. You only need to fill in the fields marked with an asterisk. That's it. It takes just about 3 minutes to complete. Plus, you can start your registration up to 72 hours before your arrival.
Before we start, make sure you have your passport handy. We'll be entering your name, passport number, nationality, date of birth, occupation, current address, and phone number. We also need your arrival date in Thailand, the purpose of your trip, your mode of transport, and flight number, plus your hotel's name and its province. You might see other fields, but for travelers, you only need to fill out the ones with a red asterisk. Those are the only mandatory items. And don't worry about the health declaration. If you're traveling from the UK, almost no extra information is needed. Now, let's head to the official TDAC website. But first, a very important warning. When you search on Google, beware of fake agency sites appearing at the top as ads. These sites often charge exorbitant fees for what should be a free or low-cost process. Always double-check that the URL is the official one, tdac.immigration.go.th. I recommend searching with specific keywords like Thailand Digital Arrival Card or Thailand Digital Arrival Card. Avoid using vague terms, especially in Thai, as they can easily lead you to fraudulent sites. Stay sharp. Once you open the official site, an automatic security check will begin. Look for the green check mark in the center of the screen along with a success message. Once you see that, you're all set to move on to the next step.
Next, click on the word English at the top right of the screen. This will open the language selection menu where you can switch to your preferred language. Once the menu appears, select the English option with the British flag icon. This will switch the input fields to English, making everything much easier to understand. Now look for the checkbox in the center of the screen that says Confirm you are human and click it to check the box. Now we're ready to start the registration. Click the blue Arrival Card button on the left side of your screen. Now, let's go through the specific input fields. There are only 3 main categories you need to worry about: personal information, travel information, and accommodation information. To save time, we'll focus exclusively on the mandatory fields marked with a red asterisk. By sticking only to these required items, you can breeze through the registration in record time. First, let's go over the items for the personal information section. You'll need to enter your name, passport number, nationality, date of birth, occupation, gender, country of residence, prefecture, and phone number. Since these are all basic details found in your passport, you'll have no trouble filling them in as long as you have it handy. Next, let's move on to the travel information section. You'll need your arrival date, the country you're flying from, your purpose of travel, the mode of transport, and your flight number. It's best to have your flight confirmation or ticket handy while you fill these in. Finally, let's fill in the accommodation information. You'll need to select your accommodation type, the province, and the address. For tourists, just entering the details for your first night's hotel is more than enough. In the address field, you can simply type in the name of your hotel. It's a great shortcut to get this done quickly. Now, let's dive into the specifics for each field. But first, let me introduce a tool that will make your registration incredibly easy. Take a look at the Retrieve from Passport button at the very top of the entry screen. Click this button and use your smartphone camera to scan your passport. It will automatically fill in your name and other details for you. It's a huge time saver and super convenient.
If you're entering your name manually, make sure to use all capital letters exactly as they appear in your passport. Enter your surname and given names in their respective fields. You can leave the middle name section blank. It's not necessary for most travelers.
Next, enter your passport number. Don't worry about using lowercase. The system will automatically convert it to uppercase for you. Just focus on typing the number exactly as it appears in your passport.
Next is your nationality. Here's a quick tip. Instead of scrolling through the long drop-down menu, just type GBR. You'll see British appear as a suggestion. Just click to select it. It's much faster to search this way than looking for it manually. Now for your date of birth. You can pick it from the calendar icon, but it's much faster and easier to just type the year directly. Since this is a mandatory field marked with a red asterisk, make sure all the numbers are 100% accurate before moving on. Next, select your occupation. If you're an office worker, choose office worker, or if you're a student, choose student. You can pick the closest match from the list or simply type it in yourself. If you're currently unemployed, just type none. That's perfectly fine. Now for the gender section. If you're male, select male, and if you're female, select female. Just click the corresponding box to check it. Next is the visa number field. If you're traveling for tourism and don't have a visa, don't worry. Just leave this entire section blank and move on to the next step. Next, select your current country of residence. Just like before, if you type GBR, United Kingdom will pop up as a suggestion. It's a much smoother way to select your country than scrolling through the whole list. Next, for the city/state of residence field, you'll need to select where you currently live. Just like before, the drop-down menu is easy to navigate if you type the first 3 letters. For example, if you live in London, just type LON and the correct option will pop up immediately. It's a great way to find your city or state in no time. Next, for your phone number, select +44 as the country code for the UK. Now, here is the most important part. You must omit the first 0 of your phone number. Once you've filled everything in, click the blue Next button at the bottom right of the screen. Great job! That completes your passport and personal information. Now let's move on to the next step, travel and accommodation information, where we'll enter details like your arrival flight to Thailand. Now, let's move on to the travel information section. First up is your arrival date. This is a mandatory field marked with a red asterisk, so please make sure to enter the exact date you'll be arriving in Thailand. You can easily pick the date by clicking the calendar icon right next to the input box. Next, select the country you departed from for Thailand. This is another mandatory field marked with a red asterisk. You can choose it from the drop-down menu, but here's the trick again. Just type GBR directly. The United Kingdom will pop up as a suggestion immediately, so you can select it in no time. Next, select your purpose of visit. This is another mandatory field. When you open the drop-down menu, you'll see quite a few options, but for a standard sightseeing trip, holiday is the most common choice. Just pick the one that best fits your travel plans. Next is the mode of travel. This is another mandatory field. Since most travelers from the UK will be arriving by plane, simply select air from the options. Just click to check the box. Next is the mode of transport. This is another mandatory field. Since most travelers from the UK will be arriving by plane, simply select air from the options. Just click to check the box. Next, enter your flight number. This is another mandatory field marked with a red asterisk. Please check your airline ticket or booking confirmation and type it in exactly. For example, TG123. Make sure both the letters and numbers are correct. Next is the departure date field. This is where you'd enter the date you plan to leave Thailand. But as you can see, there's no red asterisk here.
That means it's optional, and your application will be accepted even if you leave it blank. If you want to finish this as quickly as possible, just skip it and move straight to the next step.
What if you're planning to stay at multiple hotels during your trip? Don't worry, you only need to provide information for the very first place you'll be staying when you arrive in Thailand. There's no need to list every single accommodation, so just have your first night's hotel details ready.
Now, let's get into the specifics for your accommodation information. First, you'll need to select your accommodation type. This is a mandatory field marked with a red asterisk. When you open the drop-down menu, you'll see several options like hotel or guest house. For a standard trip, just selecting hotel is perfectly fine. Next, select the province where you'll be staying. This is another mandatory field. You'll see a long list of provinces across Thailand in the drop-down menu, but our first 3 letters trick works perfectly here too. For example, if you're staying in Chiang Mai, just type CHI. The options will filter down immediately, making it much easier to find.
Next is the district or area selection. You can pick this from the drop-down menu, but take a close look. There's no red asterisk here. That means it's optional, and you can proceed without searching for it. If you want to save time and hassle, just leave it blank and keep going.
Next, you'll see a field for the sub-district or sub-area. Although there's a drop-down menu available, once again, you'll notice there's no red asterisk. This is another optional field. To keep things as simple as possible and save time, just leave it as is and move on to the next section. Now for the postcode. Looking up international postal codes can be a real hassle, but good news, there's no red asterisk here either. You don't need to waste time searching or worrying about it. Just leave it blank and skip right past it. Finally, let's enter your accommodation address. This is a mandatory field, but don't overthink it. If you're staying at a well-known hotel, just typing the hotel name is enough to identify the location and ensure a smooth immigration process. If you're staying at a smaller guest house or an Airbnb and feel a bit unsure, a perfect tip is to simply copy and paste the address right after the hotel name. That covers everything. Great job! That completes all the entries for your accommodation information. Now, go ahead and click the blue Next button at the bottom right of the screen. We've reached the final step, the health declaration page. You're almost there. The final step is the health declaration screen. Now, don't let the name surprise you. You don't actually need to upload any medical documents. The key thing to know is that unless you've recently stayed in a country with a high risk of yellow fever, no extra information is required. If you're traveling from the UK as usual, you can just leave everything as it is and move forward. Next, you'll need to list any countries you visited in the 2 weeks before entering Thailand. If you're traveling directly from the UK and haven't stayed anywhere else, just type GBR once again. Select United Kingdom from the suggestions and you're good to go. If you did stop over in another country, simply type that country's name in the same way. Great, you've finished all the entries. Now go ahead and click the preview button at the bottom right of the screen. This will show you a full list of everything you've entered. Take a moment to double check every detail one last time to make sure there are no mistakes. Also, if you're traveling with family or companions, you can add their information by clicking the button on the left. If you're traveling with family or companions, remember that you need to enter each person's information individually. Click the Add Another Traveler button on the screen and simply follow the same steps we just did for each person. Once registered, a unique QR code will be issued for every traveler. Since everyone needs their own QR code to enter the country, make sure you don't miss anyone. Here is the preview screen. This is your chance to do a final check of all your information. If you spot any mistakes, don't worry, just click the Edit button to go back and fix them. If everything looks perfect, let's go ahead and move on to the next step. We've made it to the final step.
First, in field number 1, please enter the email address where you'd like to receive your QR code. Next, check the agreement box labeled number 2 on the left. Finally, click the blue Submit button at the bottom right. That's it. Your application has been successfully sent.
Once you hit the Submit button, a registration confirmation email will be sent to the address you provided. This email contains the QR code that you absolutely must show at Thai immigration. To avoid any stress at the airport, it's a great idea to save a screenshot on your phone or print it out as a backup. If you don't see the email, be sure to check your spam folder or double check for any typos in your address.
And that's it. Your Thailand Digital Arrival Record is all set. Just show the QR code on this screen or the one in your email to the immigration officer when you arrive in Thailand. With this ready, you're all set for a smooth and easy entry. Now, get those chores out of the way and get ready for an amazing trip to Thailand. Have a wonderful time and safe travels.
What if your flight is delayed or your flight number changes after you've already registered? Don't panic. You can easily update your information at any time through the Update menu on the official website. The most recent registration is always the one that counts, so if anything changes, just jump back in and update it as soon as you can. And that concludes our guide on the TDAC registration. By getting this done in advance, your entry into Thailand will be incredibly smooth. Since you can easily check or update your details online at any time, I recommend starting the process early to give yourself some peace of mind. Once you have your confirmation email and QR code ready, all that's left is to count down to your departure. Have an absolutely wonderful time in Thailand. Enjoy every moment.